Today's the eve of Holocaust Memorial Day, Yom HaShoah, and the state of anti-Semitism in the world is an issue which is always on the minds of Jews. A new report has come out detailing the conditions of this dangerous phenomena.
We are living in the world with a very weak historical memory. More than 70 years passed after the Holocaust started in Europe. Today we see very dangerous trends which came from this greatest disease of the humanity.
Anti-Semitism is still at large. The latest report published by the Tel Aviv University shows anti-Semitic trends are common throughout the world. The year 2008 witnessed a small decrease in the number of anti-Semitic incidents as opposed to 2007. However, in a number of important countries, Germany, Belgium, Canada, Switzerland, and the United States of America, the numbers increased.
In 2008, we saw a decline of about 10-11% in violence, 560 cases compared to 630. In 2007, there was a decline in physical attacks on people, on persons, which was a major feature before that.
Anti-Semitism, explains the president of the European Jewish Congress, is something that swells during crisis.
Today we witnessing the economical crisis. And always during all economical crises, anti-Semitism is growing. Second crisis. Under the shadow of economical crisis, we have the crisis of weaponization of Iran without proper control of the world community. And number three, it's a crisis of tolerance. And this crisis came from the thing which we mentioned above. It's the result of the shortage of historical memory. And combination of all these three crises created the situation which we have today.
Anti-Semitism comes from the needs of society and not from what Jews do or do not do, Israel included.
While 2008 witnessed relative stability in the numbers of incidents, the beginning of 2009, the days of the anti-terror IDF operation in the Gaza Strip, was a striking exception.
A wave of anti-Semitic activity started right away, both a violent one, which means physical attacks on people, setting arson to synagogues, desecration of cemeteries, monuments, especially Holocaust monuments, etc. And it consisted also of verbal and visual expressions such as insults, threats, caricatures, and mostly many demonstrations, stormy demonstrations. Many of these occurrences, both violent and verbal, did reflect, as many times before, anti-Semitic motives, but this time they were more intensive, more vociferous, stronger than and more extreme than before. Let's say in England you had, instead of 35 events in January 2008, this time you had 250.
Anti-Semitism in the days of the Holocaust was perpetrated by the Nazis. Today, anti-Semitic statements actually compare the Jews to the anti-Semites of the 1940s.
The leitmotif of the demonstrations and the expressions was not the former classic anti-Semitism, but an outright comparison of a Magen David to a swastika, of Israelis and Jews to Nazis, which is a clear political tool because it says Nazis don't have any right to exist, and so do Israel and the Jews.
The Anti-Semitism report is being published in the wake of the controversial Durban II conference in Geneva.
We have to understand, a lot of countries are waiting the result. Mm-hmm. And that's why we'll try our best, and my colleagues already there. I will join at the last day of the conference, just to collect the result. And I want to tell you, I think we should use this Durban II to express directly and openly through all media how important for the whole world and for the Jewish people these results of Durban II. It will be a direct message for the humanity. Can we oppose to the forces of discrimination and racism? Or we can't. The visit of Ahmadinejad to the conference proves completely who is the boss of the situation. And United Nations, and this is another dangerous message, accepts his visit and invites him again and again to have a floor during the UN conferences. Pro-Iranian and anti-Israeli forces, they want to demonstrate us publicly, personally, in a very aggressive way that they are dominating.
Regarding Iran, Dr. Cantor explains everything comes together: the anti-Semitic declarations, Durban II, the support of terror organizations, and the nuclear plan.
Iran understands that it will be extremely difficult for itself to attack first somebody. Because in this case, the country and the leadership will be punished immediately. That's why we have to understand they prepared very seriously for this. And this thing was done by creating the special infrastructure, terroristic infrastructure, international terroristic infrastructure, which is called Hezbollah and Hamas. But this is materialistic preparation. But what is the ideological preparation for this attacking somebody else through terroristic international organization? And the part of this ideological preparation is the export of anti-Semitism to the countries of Europe, to the countries of the world, where Hezbollah, especially Hezbollah, Hamas is much less, already implemented. And Durban II is also the part of this ideological preparation.
After learning the difficult conclusions of this report, the main question is, what can be done?
The most important thing today is the education. And through education, we can put the seeds of salvation for our future generations, for our children. Second thing, politics. Third thing, legislation. And dimension number 4, which is very important, media. Media, and I'm very happy to say you about this directly, is extremely important thing in propaganda of our common values.